Hi, this is going to be a little walkthrough of druid4arduino, which is an automatic GUI, graphical user interface for SerialUI-based Arduino projects. SerialUI is a little library that helps take some of the drudgery out of creating user interfaces, basically terminal user interfaces, so you can connect to devices and configure them and do whatever you want. What SerialUI does is allow you to take a top-level menu, add commands to it, or create submenus and then add commands to them. So here's an enable menu, and each function is there with a callback for each. All the details are in the example and on the SerialUI site. The point is, once you have this set up in your program, you can connect to the device using the serial monitor or any terminal client. And then what you have is online help that tells you what's available. These are submenus with the little pluses. These are actual commands. So if I go info here, I have some output. If I go settings, I will end up in the settings submenu. It has online help as well, so each of these commands here will prompt me for some value for setting the color, for instance, 55. If you follow the programming guidelines, you also have standard error messages. So if I enter an invalid value for red, I'm going to get a standard error message. So SerialUI is pretty cool. It's nifty for interfacing with your device, but if you have end users that are more accustomed to graphical user interfaces, then this is kind of raw. So what Druid does is fill in that gap, and what it does is it will automatically crawl the menu structure for a SerialUI-based project and generate a GUI on the fly. So here I have the Linux client for the Linux version of Druid, and what it has is this is the welcome screen, basically, where it prompts you to select the serial port and baud rate. I have two serial ports showing up here because I have two Arduinos connected to the laptop. So if I select one, say OK, it connects to the device, crawls it, and automatically generates this GUI. So these are the same commands as we saw earlier. If I press information, I have it here. If I go into settings, red, green, blue, all the same things. If you enter if you click something that's asking for a prompt and follow the guidelines, it'll prompt you here. And so hello, and red, let's say 54. Now if I try to put in an invalid value as before, what it does is it parses that error message and it puts it here. So basically you have a reproduction of the terminal version, except that it's a lot more comfortable for most users. You can navigate these things, turn it on, turn it off, and check the info. This is all the output is stored in here, and it's exportable if ever that's required. Otherwise, you can just clear it out. One of the really neat things is that because it's automatically configured, you don't have to do anything extra to provide a GUI for your for your device. So here you'll see that we have our information enable settings. And if I instead configure it to connect to that second device, which has a different interface set up with SerialUI, what it does is it'll close the connection, connect to the second device, and then reconfigure the UI. Now instead we have details, power, and settings. So the settings aren't the same, but the functionality is. So each of these commands here allows me to put in some input, and basically, anything that you put into the entire hierarchy will be reproduced. So anything you've decided to provide will show up here as buttons and commands and navigatable submenus. So that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed druid4arduino. We have Windows and Linux clients available now that should compile under Mac, though that hasn't happened yet. I'd appreciate your feedback or any questions, comments, or feature requests. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Ciao.